So what can we do to prepare in case things do get real bumpy? Well, the very first thing you can do, and it's going to sound obvious, but don't panic. And there's a difference between panicking and having concerns. Having concern for the future or some type of uneasiness is actually natural and healthy. What we want to avoid is making some type of emotional decision based out of a recessionary fear that ultimately puts us in a negative position or negatively impacts our financial future. So if you find yourself worked up and feeling like you need to make a decision right now because you're scared, the best thing I found to do is remove yourself from the situation. Go take a walk, go run, go skate, call a friend, call somebody that you trust that understands finance, call a financial advisor, get their opinion first. And then second, I found that it's really good to just give myself or give you 24 hours before you make a decision. So if you're in panic mode, 24 hours until you make a decision. And what I found to happen is 24 hours later, I'm in a completely different mindset and I end up making a different decision than I would have if I would have acted out of that emotional response. 2, you want to make sure that your income or your position in your job is secure. Because typically what we see happening is as we head into harder times, companies start downsizing. They start getting rid of things that they can because they know that they are potentially going to see less revenue. So you kind of want to ask yourself, does the job you work for or does your business, is it at risk of being impacted significantly by a recession? 2, is your job something that that company can get rid of? Or maybe 3, is your job something that can be replaced by AI or technology? If the answer is yes, this is probably the best time for you to go look for a new job. And what we're seeing is there's still way more job openings than there are people taking advantage of those jobs. So there's a job seeker window open right now. If times get pretty hard, that is going to start shrinking and you might not have that ability to change now. So I would say start looking before it gets bad. And then on top of that, you can probably make the argument that you most likely aren't going to be getting a raise if times get bad for, let's call it the next few years. So looking for a new job opening could get you or put you in a position where you're making more income than you were, which could really help going into this time. 3, you're going to want to pay off your credit card debt as soon as possible. What we're probably going to see is as the Fed does these rate hikes, that's going to mean a higher APR and a longer debt payoff period for cardholders. Then I would probably look into a balance transfer credit card with 0%, because if you're paying no interest for a little bit, that's going to allow you to pay off that debt quicker. Now, if you don't qualify for some reason, I would call your current credit card company and ask them to reduce your interest rate. Then at that point, I would hit up Dave Ramsey or go take Dave Ramsey's debt payoff course. Now, I do videos around Dave Ramsey all the time because we have 2 different views on building wealth. But what I can say about him is he has gotten a ridiculous amount of people out of debt. So if you need help getting out, I honestly think he's the best person for it. I would do that and get this checked off the list. 4, if you haven't yet, you need to start building up your emergency fund. This is 3 to 6 months of expenses, and this is meant to cover you in case unexpected things happen. Now, unexpected things can always happen in our life, but if it happens during an already difficult financial situation, you don't want that at that time. So I would start building that now. What we've found to be the best way to save money is the pay yourself first strategy. Basically what this means is that you're going to take a percentage of your check and you're going to pull that percentage out right when that money hits your account. Automate it so that you're kind of hands off, and then you have money that's going towards your savings, and then you're paying your expenses second. If that structure sounds crazy to you, I'm going to include the link below that goes in depth on how this strategy works, but it is the best way to save money, and I would really recommend you watching that video and then applying it if you haven't yet. 5, this could be a great time for you to look at a side hustle or a potential second job. And kind of what we mentioned before is there's job openings right now that might not be here in the next 6 months. So this could be an opportunity for you to have that side hustle, which will either allow you to pay off the debt if you need to do so, help you build that emergency fund, or might give you extra opportunity cash to participate in what could be great opportunity. Usually when there's economic downturns or the stock market kind of takes a hit, that means you might see great companies with stocks at a discount. And so this might be a way for you to participate in getting in at those discounts. 6, and this is a perfect segue into this part, don't be scared of a bear market. And this is something I really learned in 2008, that when these corrections or crashes happen, there's a ton of opportunity in front of you. And I think we all understand that concept, right? You want to buy when things are at a discount, you want to sell when things are high. And what you've been seeing on a lot of social media over the last couple of years is, I'm waiting for the market to correct. I'm waiting until I can buy at a discount, right? That's obvious. What they don't tell you is how scary it is and how much fear is surrounding you in those moments. And there's kind of multiple things at play, right? You have the media that's typically hyping up the situation because their job is to get clicks, right? It's not really to tell you what's actually happening. Then you have your friends who, in a lot of part, are either impacted by it or are kind of bought up in the hype. So everything you hear around you is, you're losing money, don't invest now, you're gonna lose even more. And all of that could really impact your judgment on making the best financial decisions. So what I found the best way to do, don't try to time the market. Don't try to sell everything at the very peak, pull everything out, and then try to put everything in the beginning. It's almost impossible to do. And let me finish on this. If you're not going to be in a position to participate in what might be great opportunity, don't beat yourself up over that. Do everything we said to help you get through this position so that it doesn't bring you further back than you are right now. Get rid of your debt, build your emergency fund, create the discipline, and maintain everything you're doing. And as things improve, don't fall back to the old habits. Create your cash reserves so that the next time this happens, you are able to participate in it and it doesn't make a negative impact like it does, unfortunately, to a lot of us. That's the end of this video. I hope that helps. If you have anybody that needs this, please send it to them. If you could hit the like button, follow for more. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week.